All right, welcome everyone. You ever see those headlines about some company landing a massive multi-billion-dollar contract and just wonder how? Well, I can tell you, it's not luck. It's an operating system. And today, we're going to break down the framework that turns the absolute chaos of competitive bidding into a science.
So let's just dive right in with a question that honestly keeps a lot of executives up at night. Why do companies burn through millions of dollars on proposals they have almost zero chance of winning? I mean, in this high stakes game, that bid and proposal money, your B&P budget, it can just evaporate on a single loss. The real question is, how do you stop pouring good money after bad?
Because let's be real, the reality is that it is a brutal, brutal arena out there. You've got these huge upfront costs, right? Then there's the infamous winner's curse, where you pop the champagne for winning the contract, only to realize you underbid so badly you're going to lose your shirt. And on top of all that, there's what we call information asymmetry. Plain and simple, the buyer always knows more than you do.
So, how in the world do you wrangle all that chaos and turn it into something orderly, something predictable? Well, the answer is the Shipley process. And look, this isn't just some flimsy collection of tips and tricks. We're talking about a system that's been battle tested for over 50 years. It's a disciplined 96-step framework, basically an operating system for winning.
Okay, so first up, let's get into the architecture of this thing. The whole process is built around a 7-phase playbook. Think of it as the grand strategy that covers everything from start to finish. And this right here, this lays out the entire life cycle perfectly. Now, the first thing you should notice is that it starts at phase 0. That's not a typo, and it is so key. This tells you right away that Shipley isn't just about writing a proposal. No, no. It's a long game that starts way before that, with deciding which markets to even play in, and it doesn't end until long after you've submitted, when you're doing negotiations or figuring out what went wrong.
And this quote, this really gets to the absolute heart of the Shipley philosophy. If you walk away with one thing, let it be this. If your strategy is to just hire the best writers, you've already lost. Winning happens before a single word of the proposal is written. It's all about the strategy you build in those early phases. That's the whole ball game.
The best of the best, they live upstream in these early phases. See, this is where you stop being reactive and start being proactive. You're not just responding to an RFP, you're shaping the opportunity. You're building relationships, becoming that trusted advisor. And maybe most importantly, you're developing the discipline to say no bid on things you're not positioned to win. This is where you engineer the victory, sometimes months before your competition even knows there's a prize to be won.
Okay, so then you move downstream. This is the part everybody thinks of, right? The furious writing, the deadlines, the pizza boxes piling up. But here's the thing. It's all about executing the brilliant strategy you already built upstream. The key takeaway? This phase is about execution, not creation. The creative, strategic work is already done.
Okay, so you've got this intense, multi-phased process. But how do you make sure you're not going off the rails? What's the quality control? Well, it all comes down to a series of, frankly, legendary checkpoints known as the color team reviews.
And please don't mistake these for your typical proofreading session. This isn't about commas and typos. These reviews are the central nervous system of the whole operation. They are formal, mandatory gates. And at each gate, the review team is asking one and only one question. Are we on track to win this thing? And what's so cool about this system is that each color has a very specific, very critical job. I mean, just look at some of these. You've got the Black Hat Review, which is basically a war dane where you pretend to be your competitors. Then there's the red team. This is the full dress rehearsal, the final exam before you submit. You bring in an independent team to score your proposal just like the customer would. It's ruthless, and it's absolutely brilliant. Now, all the color teams are important, but if you're going to focus on two, it's these, pink and red. The pink team happens before you start writing pages and pages of text. Its job is to fix the logic of your proposal. Is your strategy sound? The red team comes much later. Its job is to fix the document itself. It's designed to be tough, to find every single flaw. So think of it this way. Pink team saves you from writing 100 pages of the wrong thing. Red team makes sure the 100 pages you did write are good enough to win.
All right, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like a lot of process, a lot of meetings, a lot of steps. Does it actually work? Well, let's look at the data and see how this all translates into real-world success.
So Shipley uses this really powerful idea to measure success. It's called the Business Development Capability Maturity Model. Yeah, it's a mouthful, so we just call it the BD-CMM. At its core, it's a way to grade your organization. It measures how you're doing on your journey from just chaotically chasing deals to becoming a disciplined, data-driven winning machine. And the whole point is to climb this ladder. Most organizations, honestly, start out at level 1. It's chaotic. Success depends entirely on a few heroes who work crazy hours to pull off a miracle win. You know the drill. The goal is to get all the way up to level 5. That's where you're not just following the process, you're constantly using data to make it better. You're an optimizing, finely tuned machine.
And here is the why. This is the payoff. The data could not be clearer. Just look at that jump. If you're stuck in that chaotic level 1, maybe you win 1 out of every 4 bids. But once you get to level 5, you're looking at a win rate of 75% or even higher. It's just undeniable. Process pays off, big time.
But here's the really subtle, powerful point. It's not just about winning more. It's about winning smarter. A mature organization has the discipline to look at a bid early on and say, you know what? We're not positioned to win this. We're out. That discipline saves millions in wasted BMP dollars and lets you focus your absolute best people on the deals you actually can win. Okay, so this framework has been around for half a century. It's a legend. But in today's world of Agile and AI, is it still the king? Let's talk about the future. The short answer is a resounding yes, because the process isn't a fossil, it's evolving. People are running proposals using agile sprints now. And the big one, of course, is generative AI. It's starting to automate all the grunt work, cranking out first drafts, building compliance matrices. And what that does is it frees up the humans to focus on what humans do best, the high-level strategy, the competitive intelligence, and the critical, tough-minded reviews. And that really leaves us with a final, pretty provocative thought, doesn't it? As AI gets so good that it can write a technically perfect proposal, does all that human-centric work, that upstream strategy, that competitive analysis, those tough red team reviews, does that become the only real differentiator left? The only thing that truly separates the winners from everyone else? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.
We haul the loads. Aleph Capital secures the contract.